Yeti Mice took down the Monolith. Can they take down the Town Hall next? The Town Hall's really low. Oh, Yetis.
Oh!
What? No.
The Town Hall, it's still up.
The next match here, which is the first match of the lower brackets. Let's see who's able to avoid elimination and keep their hopes alive.
That's right. This match is for staying alive in this tournament. We have Psycho with Burger Boss coming in first. We have the Root Riders. I guess we will see a lot of them again in this match until and if we see a fail happening in this matchup.
Yeah, the Root Riders going directly into that single Inferno, as well as pathing over that poison. Or was that his poison, actually? Since we got that poison spell on that right-hand side, which helped get those Clan Castle troops down. Queen is clearing up pretty nicely around the outside. She might not go into this Town Hall. She might go... Oh, no, she does. She will go into this Town Hall compartment, do some support with those Root Riders going in here. However, the invisibility spell tower will make the Town Hall invisible, and they'll take quite a bit of damage in here if he doesn't freeze. Oh, and he missed that freeze on the Town Hall.
Oh, the freeze. But is it really important for the backhand? Because, especially with the King ability, it seems like nothing is holding him back. He's just going through the last couple of defense like it's nothing. And there's only some storages alive at this point. It's going to be around 1 minute 30 attack. The last defense should go down with one Fraser left to deploy. And that's... Wait. Actually, there's another building at the bottom. So I didn't see it behind the scroll bar. There's a barracks, I believe. Which means it's going to be 1 minute and something like 40 seconds.
Yeah, a little bit on the slower side on that one. I think VA also have some really quick attackers in here as well. So we'll see if they're able to counter that with those quick attacks coming in there as well. But first hit, first triple from Burger Boss, getting Psycho Esports at the best position possible.
Yes, giving his team a nice position to start this match into, especially with having already seen the last match, right, with Na'Vi with their first attack. Like, you never want to have that happen. But now we have VA Esports, and they are coming in next. I think, if I remember correctly as well, they had one of those fails, like bigger fails earlier today. So we hope that they were able to recover with their team and going into this match then with their head held high and a good momentum.
Yeah, I mean, Psycho in a very good position now. They're just bouncing the ball into VA's court. They have to triple now as well if they want to call it even. They have done some really cool attacks. I think Dobs is on this team as well, if I'm correct. And Dobs has done some really quick attacks previously, I think with Electro Dragon. So I wonder if we'll be seeing a bit of a mixture between what we'll see on these bases. Obviously, Root Riders is a very favorite, as well as the Lalo. Super Dragons are quite a favorite. We haven't been seeing too many Electro Dragons, but they are still an occasional choice.
Yes, but it's back to the Root Riders on this one with the Siege Barracks, which is just so much more powerful with the latest level, with the extra P.E.K.K.A. which you gain from that. We have as well the Root Riders now getting pushed into the first Rage Tower. And there is again this one big spell which I'm scared of, because that is the Overgrowth spell.
Yeah, the Overgrowth spell makes sure that these Root Riders go for the other defenses first. As you can see, there it comes, freezing that Town Hall, making it frozen in place. Won't be doing damage, but also these troops will not see it as a defense at the moment. They will go all the way around it before coming back to get that Town Hall down. Now, we left the Monolith out of this spell, so the World Champion actually went and got it down, and she still has her ability while she's clearing up with the troops on the right-hand side. Now, we have seen this be the reason why some of these attacks have been getting some 1-stars. However, this one is looking pretty promising. Making sure that that Monolith went down before that Town Hall was back on the board, I think is really crucial. World Champion gets that Town Hall down. This one is a really quick attack here as well. 1 minute 48 seconds, I think, was remaining on this one. And Max is coming in, responding to Psycho's triple and getting another one on the board here.
Yes, a nice Rage Tower with the Overgrowth spell. Nice to see that that's possible out of the latest couple of attacks. Well, we have seen some players struggle quite a bit, but overall we have seen a huge variety of spell combinations. With the Root Riders, we have seen a heavy skeleton spell support, when we see single Inferno Towers, for example, but as well we have seen the Overgrowth combination as the jump spell from Synchronic earlier. So overall, kind of like a variety inside this mass Root Rider approach, but I feel like the troops most of the time are somewhat the same.
Yeah. I mean, we are always looking at how quick the attacks are, but again, I've said it before, we've not had to go based off of time just yet. So hopefully we see a bit of a shift in the attacks, because at the moment they are strong and they are safe, but if one of these players is not 100% sure about the attack, how is it going to go, it might be more valuable to go for that safe triple rather than going for the quick one. Yeah,
that's for sure. I mean, we have seen some of the matches where early on we had like a solid defense or something where the teams have switched up their approaches, their strategies to approach those different bases with super bowlers from Gaku, for example, and other different type of attacks which we have seen not that often compared to the Root Riders. So you kind of have to hope for some type of a defense for one of those teams to really make sure that, well, we see some more variety then within the attack combinations and troop combinations.
Yeah, I think it just leaves a lot more room for error because you've sent everything in and there's no room to try and recover when you've already sent in all your troops and all your heroes. So we'll see what happens. Spiz is up with the next attack for Psycho, and he's starting with the siege on the south-hand side. And we've got all these Root Riders. They're storming the base from the left, of course, with the Warden and the King in there, as well as a few Headhunters to help get the enemy Queen down.
Yes, we have a nice spread so far of those different troops. We have the non-defense building right in front of the cannon, so everything is kind of going around it, giving the cannon a little bit more time to actually deal some damage. The single Inferno Tower locked onto one of those Root Riders, so the first one is for sure going down. But is it enough damage with the huge lightning value which he invested earlier into the attack?
Yeah, everything just went really slowly into this multi-inferno compartment, and everything's trailing a little bit around the outside now. And as we said, not a lot of recovery still up. The King is pathing into that Town Hall compartment. There is a wall still separating him. However, with his ability, he might be able to do some damage, but he's going for the defenses on the outside of the base, Itsu.
Whenever a Town Hall is like staying up like this later in the attack, I'm really scared with like what we had happen over the day so far. Root Rider opening up the next compartment. He has the Queen ability and he has one more phrase, but is that going to be enough? The King is tanking, the Queen is going for this Expo next. Is she then in range of the Town Hall? She is not. That is massive for him. The Town Hall should go. Wait, this Queen! He's controlling this Queen with the controller. That is just perfect pathing from her.
Yeah, good thing that Monolith was already low. That final freeze is beautiful here on the Town Hall and the Expo. Queen uses her ability, goes invisible, gains some healers here as well. King's on revive, trying to go for that building there on the north-hand side, and Queen gets the Expo down. We were worried for a second there, but his Queen came in clutch, and Spiz has yet another triple on the board. He did not fall short on that one. We were worried. Not another 1-star. I'm always scared when I see a Town Hall up, specifically when the Monolith is still there as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's always a little bit nerve-wracking when such things happen, but the Root Rider, the one last Root Rider opening up those compartments for the Queen was the game changer on this one. I feel like if this did not happen, we could have seen another fail, which would have not been optimal for those teams. So he was safe getting that 3-star on this one, and they are still so far perfect, especially with knowing how Psycho has performed in the tournament so far. They were not one of the strongest offensive teams, so they really have to make sure that they're using their last life now in this tournament to really make it count.
Yeah, I mean, they're good attackers as an individual. I've seen them play in a variety of different tournaments. But as I said, I think this is a newer team that they put together. They're playing for fun, and you can see that the fun is actually really helping them. They made it, I think, through the first qualifier as well, and they just qualified straight away. Through the group stage, they played pretty nicely as well, made it through to the playoffs, and here they are still outperforming at times as well. We've got Dobs with the Electro Dragons. Now, he's previously done some really quick attacks. So this might, I don't know if this is one of his favorite attack strategies, but everything's coming in from the left-hand side. Warden ability active to get the blimp into the Town Hall compartment. And as you can see, he's frozen the invisibility spell tower beautifully. And will go off here as it gets destroyed, but the Town Hall is down.
Yeah, Town Hall is down, but can the spread now be good enough off those dragons? The chains should be great as soon as the Electro Dragons are reaching actually the last couple of storages, but they're splitting away into the wrong direction. Everything now is relying on his heroes, which are around the Eagle, but take a look at the last couple of chains, dealing a ton of damage to the multi-inferno tower, to the cannon, to the Expo as well. But the Expo staying alive with little hit points, sending the Royal Champion now in to make sure this Expo is going down.
Yeah, that Queen needs to stay alive. She has ability and the Unicorn still available to make sure she gets as much health back as possible. Oh, there goes that Queen ability with the additional healers. We'll be able to keep her alive a little bit longer. World Champion did her job very nicely. Going in, gets that Expo down. The Warden at the moment is cleaning up solo with a few archers on that right-hand side. World Champion, though, with her ability, Haste Vial going off, speeding her up, getting those last few defenses down. He has a freeze still left, and he doesn't even need it. Now, this is not his quickest attacks on the book, but it is a triple, and a triple is what matters at the moment.
Nicely done for sure. The freeze is, again, the last spell not getting used, but the time is quite long as well. I think we can quickly check what the average times are looking like. And I think so far with the first attack, which we have seen from via Esports, the first attack was just so quick that this a little bit longer attack, or like slower attack, is not the biggest difference. So right now we have the average time about 1 minute 30 seconds for via Esports and 1 minute 46 seconds for Psycho Esports, which means the advantage is on via Esports side.
Oh, it's getting close. 6 stars each. Oh, sometimes it is a game of who's the first one to slip up. And as we mentioned before, it might just be just the funneling is not done correctly, or there are any potential traps which does stop down the amount of funneling that you can do. And that could be the hit or miss in some of these matches. So we'll have to just wait and see what they bring next. It could be anybody's war still, though, since it is completely even on stars and percent.
Yeah, it's so far a really close one, only time being the difference maker. And there's still plenty of attacks to do. And as we have said earlier, so far we had not a single match which did come down to time. And, well, we have now, with the next attack, again, Psycho Esports coming in. Tom is the attacker with the Root Rider combination again. Is he going to go into the town, or is there another plan? With the lightnings this time, we don't see an overgrowth spell.
Yeah, we got that one baby dragon already working around that town hall compartment. One root rider with some Valkyries clearing up for the queen, which will give the funneling for these root riders into the Scattershock compartment. There is the enemy queen there. The Zapquake's coming in, gets the monolith and the invisibility spell tower down. So he doesn't have to worry about it going invisible. I'm assuming he still wants his queen to go in to get that town hall compartment, though.
Yeah, the queen. Again, we have the one magical root rider opening up the compartment. Again, for the queen, she should be able to reach that town hall really easily now. But the core troops are getting slowly stuck. There is some rocket loons actually on top of those root riders dealing a ton of damage. There's a couple of wizards taking it finally down. And now it's all about the back end. Can he push through the Expo, Scatter, Inferno Tower? All of that splash and heavy hitting defenses.
Yeah, there's still quite a lot remaining. There goes the final freeze spell as well for the Royal Champion. We got the Fox, which we want to keep alive. That Ricochet cannon was bouncing off of these Royal Champion. The rocks just about stay alive there. But Royal Champion goes to ability. Will speed her up towards that northern side with the Haste Vial. King is also still alive, which will be able to tank as well for those last few defenses. We have got that Troll Hidden Tesla Farm at that northern side still standing there. But with the amount of heroes still left, the amount of power, we'll be able to clear that off of Dobs' base. Tom with yet another triple in here as well.
Yeah, but the Tesla farm is taking some time to clear, but the 3-star is there anyways. It's 1 minute and around 45 seconds-ish around. So So we have to wait then for the VA Esports side, what they can bring to the table and what they can, well, get in their next attack, because they are up next. And so far, this match is looking really, really solid. Surprised by the stars, by the results so far, that this is a lower bracket match. Because remember, whoever is going to lose this is dropping out of this playoff bracket, out of this entire tournament.
Yep, we're going to be saying goodbye to one of these teams. They're going to be the first ones to leave. That's so sad. We never want to be saying goodbye to some of these teams. However, we will need to crown a champion at the end of the weekend. So there's a lot of big matches coming. Unfortunately, for one of these teams, it will be the end of their story, though, in the World Warm-Ups for this season.
Yes, that's right. Well, I'm just excited for the next attack to see if it's again the Root Riders, which I would highly expect, to be honest. Or is it something different? No, it's back to the Root Riders. It's again a core Town Hall compartment, core Town Hall setup with the Rage Towers. We see a huge variety by now with different spell towers and everything. Not only Rage Towers, not only Poison Towers. I think still the majority Rage Towers. That would be my speculation. Which is kind of crazy, even though they got nerfed quite a bit. They are still just so popular and so strong. But we see the Overgrowth spell again.
Yeah, we got the Overgrowth spell stopping the Town Hall and the Eagle Artillery. Some extra defenses in there. We got that Scatter Shot in there, which is also nice. So all these Root Riders will go for that Monolith before continuing on the right-hand side. Queen at the moment, she's clearing up around the outside. And as you can see, there is the Royal Champion. Now, she's on the left. She's dealing with that Hound, which is actually going to be really nice for the Royal Champion to deal with, though, to try and get a defense. She's going to be slowed down by picking off all of these pups one by one as she takes some damage in here. He does see that, freezes the Town Hall and the multi-archer tower to try and keep that Royal Champion alive.
Yeah, the Royal Champion, with her ability and the freeze, should for sure get that Town Hall down without any problems whatsoever. But the cannon out of reach right now for Queen and King might be a problem. Again, it's one Root Rider opening up the compartment, being super beneficial. And we have the Royal Champion ability now with that shield and the haste spell, finishing things off and getting another 3-star. That's like interesting that we see the shield with the haste vial, which is a lot of damage, don't get me wrong, but I feel like power-wise, you have literally 0 health recovery, which can cost you quite a bit.
Yeah. And now we haven't really been seeing much of a time difference, but now we are 3 attacks in, 3 perfect attacks down. What do the times look like? Are you able to tell me them?
Let me double check the time. So far, we are on 1 minute 31 seconds for VA Esports, and we are on 1 minute 46 seconds for Psycho Esports. So a huge advantage for VA Esports with their attacks, with the time for now. But, well, it's 4 attacks total to go. Still, many things can happen, but so far this match is only with 3 stars.
Yeah, I mean, we're just over halfway now. And so far, only perfect triples in. So I was curious to see what we're exactly at, because I think this is the first one that made it this far without having a fail on the board.
Yeah, I think so. I'm trying to remember what the record was so far regarding a streak in a match with perfect attacks. But I think this one might be the first one going now and crossing the halftime line with attacks and still being only 3 stars. So, well, we have then Team Psycho Esports going up next again. They have to kind of speed things up a little bit if they are expecting more 3 stars in this match, which I guess they will just keep going for safer option 3 stars, because we have seen so many defenses regarding every single match. At least there was always one minimum, which for the current meta I think could be considered a lot. But we see the Troll Tesla, which is not the biggest deal, especially if you're bringing Valkyries and stuff. And it's going to be a far side entry, but no Overgrowth spell.
Yeah, Zapquake instead clears off a Ricochet Cannon. It looks like a Rage Spell Tower, which is always nice to get down, because that means there's less damage coming in from those defenses. And of course that multi-Inferno as well. Now the Eagle Artillery is already up and doing some damage. And here go those Clan Castle troops, which are trying to slow down these Root Riders from that right-hand side. Anthony uses his Warden ability to protect these Root Riders through this multi damage, as well as that ricochet, because it bounces from not one, not two, but three troops.
Yeah, it can be really deadly, especially versus the combination of the Royal Champion with the Fox, which is just so good. And the Ricochet Cannon is kind of like the clear, perfect counter for that, which sometimes is really demotivating as an attacker. But I guess it's just fair with how much power this pet and the hero together have. On this one, we have a lot of power as well on the back end, because there's just so many Root Riders left alive. The Royal Champion with some healers taking care of the back end. Town Hall, though, should go down. Question mark?
Oh no! There's only one Root Rider. Was it two Root Riders? But they are on the southern side. Good thing he does still have that Royal Champion ability. I think he brought the OG abilities, though. So I think he has the Life Gem and the Seeking Shield. Town Hall is already low. The Diggy is still up, stunning the Town Hall. There goes the Seeking Shield. And Anthony has done it. Another triple on the board. But as you said, their Psycho's attacks, their triples, they're just a little bit slower than those coming in from VA Esports.
Yes, again, so far, time-wise, they were not really changing their average time with the last attack, right? It was right in their average time frame. And now it's back to VA Esports getting their next attack in. They're still, just based on the first 3 attacks, on average 15 seconds faster, which is quite a bit considering that there were 3 attacks. So it's like 45 seconds something, right? If I'm not completely mistaken right now. But with the next attack, they could either improve this or maybe give Psycho Esports a chance of coming back.
Yeah, I mean, 15 seconds, we saw it in previous matches. Sometimes 15 seconds is just the time needed to deploy everything. So if maybe they just try and save a few seconds here or a few seconds there, that could be the decider of some matches. Some people don't realize how much time that they're actually slowing down their attacks by just taking a few seconds here and there. It all adds up at the end of the day. Now, if it does come down to time, VA Esports are in a promising position. If they keep it up, it just has to be quicker than the attacks coming in from Psycho.
Yes, they have to for sure stay somehow close, but that's always the thing we're talking about, right? A lot of people are saying that a lot of fails are coming from this pressure of like always trying to perform faster and faster and faster to like then maybe take some certain risks, deploy things even too fast, I guess, that the funnel is not set up, that the building's still alive, which then causes that Root Riders go into the wrong direction and things like that. So that is for sure always on the table. But so far, both teams looking strong. VA Esports up next. They should hopefully go in any second. And then I guess another Root Rider variation with different spell compositions, which we have seen so far. I guess, and I hope that we don't see an overgrowth combination, because this so far has been the highest chance then of actually resulting in a fail and even a 1-star.
Yeah, I mean, Lalo, it has been a favorite not only in this tournament, but also a few other ones as well. However, Root Rider does seem to be dominating over Lalo still, but you can see Stars did a really, really quick and a really nice Lalo earlier. Also, the base, it was perfectly broken apart, though. He knew how to get all of his loons into the middle of the base as quickly as possible. So it just depends on how these players are able to break down those bases to try and get it done as quickly and as best as possible.
That's, I mean, for sure a good point. Wondering when the next attack will happen for VA Esports, as we're waiting for this one for them to go in. But that should happen then any time soon. As well, something which I feel like is kind of unfortunate, with a lot of times seeing the same strategies. We see a lot of times as well the same equipment, because I feel like equipments overall, they're relying so much on the strategy. We're seeing a lot of like, I don't know, guides or tier lists or whatever, but I feel like as long as you don't do that based on strategies, it is just so different. Like, for example, for some strategies, the Healing Tome is kind of useless. Well, for them, some other strategies, the Rage Aura for the Warden is great. The same thing pretty much happens for most of the equipments out there. I think the only exception might be the Barbarian King with the Giant Gauntlet and the Rage Vial, but otherwise, those equipments are like different for so many different strategies. It would be so cool then to like see a different and more variety in the meta itself.
Yeah, I mean, there's multiple different creative tournaments going on, and I think that's why we see quite a lot of variety in those different matches. However, when you need to be consistent and be as precise as this and don't have a lot of freedom, I feel like it does get a bit limiting. As you mentioned, the King Gauntlet is just a favorite. I'm pretty sure we saw pretty much on almost every single one of them, the Gauntlet was present, and Leo has brought it in again now. Next attack for VA Esports, again, those Root Riders, and they're going directly into the Town Hall compartment.
Yes, they're going straight into that compartment. They have the Overgrowth spell then for the back end, which I am wondering, because there is a triple raged up multi-inferno tower setup with 2 Expos in there as well. I think the multi-arch tower should not get covered by that. But there goes the Overgrowth spell. I think a really important key thing is when you're using a back-end Overgrowth spell like this, is to catch the Eagle, because that's always a nice thing, and your Root Riders like to, a lot of times, like to group up, and that's then really nice to have the Eagle not shooting at them.
Yeah, when they are condensed like that and take so much damage, it can be devastating. Because if they were spread out, then it wouldn't be as problematic. But as you can see, this one didn't even matter. Leo has everything going into this compartment now that was held in place by that Overgrowth spell. King goes to ability roll. Champion is in here as well under her ability. The final freeze on the outside. We have this one coming in, which is pretty quick yet again for VA Esports. We have one building that will go down there on that right-hand side. He had quite a few troops there on cleanup that was still up, as well as those heroes. VA Esports, they're looking pretty promising. 12 to 12 stars. Itsu, you were waiting for this moment. We'll see if you will actually get what you've been asking for.
I am scared a little bit because Carbon showed up again in the chat. So, Carbon, please do not jinx this. We highly appreciate this. That would be amazing. But otherwise, yes, this match looks really, really solid from both sides. Let's quickly double check again the numbers, because so far, especially with the last attack, VA Esports even improved their average time of 1 minute and 29 seconds now, compared to the 1 minute and 46 seconds on the Psycho Esports side. And to everyone who has not watched that many pro matches recently, it is always, when it comes down to like deciding who is winning the match, stars is the most important thing to take a look at. But if it's a 15-15 score, stars are tied up, the same as the percentage, because both teams have the same average percentage then. And the third tiebreaker is time. That's why we're referring to that time quite a bit, especially as long as both teams are still perfect in this match.
Yeah, definitely. We had one match, actually, which I've not really seen before. It went to time, and it was not a perfect war. There were defenses on both sides, and it managed to go to time, which I've never seen, I'm pretty sure, in all of these last few years that I've seen all these competitive matches. So it was very funny to see that it did go to time, even lowered on in those stars and percentages, but that is definitely not common.
Yeah, it's, I mean, if it's not on a perfect from both sides, it's really uncommon. That is like going down to the third tiebreaker. That is for sure kind of rare, but it's always then like funny to see as from a viewer perspective. Maybe not as much for the players, because like everyone is going to blame themselves, like, it could have been like 1 second faster, or maybe like 1% more or something. But either way, we have then the next tech for Psycho Esports, and so far already, as long as they're getting 2 stars, they're above their star average. And that's like the one thing which we have seen over the last couple of times, that teams are just showing up like crazy in the lower bracket. Like they're just turning things around. I don't know if it's the pressure they need or something, but they're just turning around their performance. So, well, maybe Psycho Esports can do it with that next attack. They're getting into this one with the Root Riders. Yes, they're getting in there with Root Riders. Classic equipment combination, it looks like, with then going in from the far side, from the top side, with lightnings.
Yeah, sometimes the lower bracket is a wake-up call, seems to be by some of these teams. And at the moment, both of these teams, as you said, they're showing up and they're doing well. Triple after triple. Let's see if Ghost can get it done. Warden ability on the Root Riders coming in from the north-hand side. And at the moment, he has cleanup around the outside. We've got the Siege coming in which will help the queen, but also he had these walls open and he cleaned up beautifully to let his king into this compartment and is hoping to get the town hall down with his king. Now he's actually opened up all these walls with the root riders, so the king's actually trailing all the way away from this town hall compartment and the root riders are in here instead.
Hey, but can they deal enough damage to take down that town hall? That's the question. With the multi-inferno tower, the builder has everything firing at them, but they should have enough hit points. Eagle shot though. Wait a second, the town hall is staying alive. Don't tell me that they're messing things up now with the last attack. Psycho Esports need that 3-star to force VA Esports as well to triple. But the town hall is on the back end and he has only one spell left.
One freeze. World champion. She has the Fox, which can be huge value to make it invisible. The scatter shot is perfectly distracted by some more of those troops. Freeze is coming in. He had some super barbarians actually going in and sniping the town hall on his own, so he can have the royal champion clean up the last few defenses. The multi-inferno is still present, which can do some damage on the Fox, which was protecting the queen so far. The Expo doing damage on the queen and her health is ticking down and it is close. The king is still up though, Itsu.
Oh yeah, that king with the Phoenix, that should be no problem for him to take those buildings out. It will take some time, yes, but he's getting that 3-star, and since Psycho Esports was back, or like was having not the good time on their side anyways, I don't think it matters too much. It's more about like the fact that they're getting that 3-star and forcing VA Esports to 3-star as well, because otherwise we are going to this third tiebreaker, going to time. But Psycho Esports getting it done. Nice job here.
That was a bit of a whirlwind of emotions because the king straight away, the root riders were not enough. I got a little bit worried, but it came in clutch at the end. I didn't even see the king was still alive before he came back on screen, and he even had the Phoenix still as well, so he would have been able to get a revive to get some additional damage down, and it came in clutch there. We have Psycho with a perfect war. Now VA Esports, can they do the same? They have to, otherwise they will be going home.
Yes, they have to 3-star. I feel like at this point, if we take a look at the time overall, any 3-star is doing the job. It doesn't matter if it's like a quick attack, a slow attack, they just have to 3-star, which based on the results so far, it's easier said than done for sure, especially with this pressure now on his side, getting that last attack in for his team.
Yep, triple or nothing, all in or go home at this moment. We have to get as many stars as possible in that last attack. The pressure is on because there's a lot of money on the line for this, but also they want to be the first people to make it through. And imagine being able to say that you won the first official Clash of Clans tournament, Town Hall 16. That will definitely be one to bragging for.
I mean, of course, but there's a lot of money then on the line as well, with the first seed getting this $10,000 prize money. But as well, take a look at that. It's a complete different style of base with an, well, more anti-3-star setup. And he's going in with a Lalo again with the healing tome on his Warden.
Now again, time does not matter. He needs the triple on the board for this one, because we had a previous slow attack there, which does leave a little bit of window of opportunity here. So if he does have anything that strays afar, he can try and recover pretty easily. Is why he's being a bit slow at the moment with his hero dive. Wall breaker beautifully opens up the walls to the scatter shot in here, and there's also an ice golem here, which will freeze the amount of damage going in on his king and his queen. Now those clan castle troops emerge. We have got the dragon, the super dragon here. He has got a poison down to try and do as much damage as possible, and hopefully the queen can get that eagle artillery and get the super dragon down.
The blimp has made it, but take a look at that. The tornado trap perfectly rotating the Yetis away from the town hall. Is the town hall going to go down? That's the question. He's going to freeze it. Yeti mites took down the monolith. Can they take down the town hall next? The town hall's really low. Oh, Yetis.
Oh!
What? No.
The Town Hall, it's still up. He has got a bunch of loons. No freezes, though, to slow down the amount of damage coming in. He has got a skeleton spell he uses on the back end. World Champion is still up here, gets that Town Hall down. We're going to lose all of those loons in this compartment to the Giga Poison. The last few loons coming in from Jesus on that left-hand side. Queen is still up. World Champion goes invisible, and Jesus has done it. Gets a triple on the board for VA Esports. And if the times are correct, VA Esports will have the advantage and will be staying in the lower brackets.
The first 15-15 score match we have so far, and it's obviously happening in the lower bracket. You cannot make this up. Oh no, 15-15 for both of those teams. Incredible scores on offense, but time is on the side of VA Esports. Perfect moment. But talking about the perfect moment, we have the next attack live for our last match of the day. Emporium Titans versus VM Legacy. And this one is for the tournament lives. Whoever is going to make it is going to stay in this lower bracket, and whoever is going to lose it is out of this competition.
Yep, lots of pressure here as the E-Dragons are looking to fly their way through. Town Hall goes down with ease. Also luring out and pulling the Tornado Trap, which is really useful so the E-Dragons don't get spun around. But that Monolith is doing work onto some of these E-Dragons as the Sweeper continuously tries to just push them back, as his heroes are going to loop their way around from the far left side and trying to make their way and ending towards the Monolith.
Monolith indeed can be a big problem on that back end. Eagle at least already went down, but there's quite a few defenses which are still left standing, with the Clan Castle now getting lured out as well and being stuck on that Royal Champion. He cannot reach that second layer, which means the cannon, the Expos are staying alive for now.
Yeah, at least the RC does go invisible, but the Ice Comb is sitting there and freezes up the Royal Champion. Single locks onto the RC. RC burns ability, gonna have to get frozen again, as the RC needs to hopefully keep that Spear Fox alive. No, she is not going to be able to go invisible anymore, and she dies. But the Ricochet Cannon does go down. Queen is gone, and this King won't be able to finish this one off, as there is just too much left. And we got ourselves Synthe with a defense here.
This match starting early with the defense. You did not smell the perfect this time around, and your nose was correct.
Nope. No.
And this means we have VM Legacy with a huge advantage, and something which I always appreciate when one of those teams, is not getting a 3-star early on, because this could give us some more variety with the attacks, like some non-Root Rider attacks over the process of this match.
This means Synthe can now use his arrow to start an attack. That's what it means, right? If he wants to go with one of his regular attacks, he doesn't have to kind of spam for time. This now brings back the players' kind of, not necessarily creativity, but more of their armies of choice that they prefer to use in these types of wars. They're kind of just forced to use the Root Riders, and if they are kind of really stubborn of not wanting to use the Root Riders, their clanmates, teammates in these competitive environments are going to really be forcing it upon them, because there's no really other attack that's at that speed to give your team the best chance of winning. So in this case, when it's a fail to start a match, now you can start to bring different attacks where time is not going to play a role.
Yeah, that's for sure the freedom which those players have now. Well, on the other side, of course, it's now about safe 3 stars. That's like the main thing. Time is off the table. And the question, though, is, I think, speculation, that VM Legacy won't change their strategy for the first attack, because they have barely any time to react to this first defense, and then we'll maybe see with the third, maybe with the fourth attack or something, that the strategies might change later on, and they're going more for the controlled approaches. Lalo, you have already talked about the Mass Hog Rider approach from Synthe, but this already counts down for both sides, going for the safer approaches and trying to then hopefully get out of 3 stars.
So I know when you were competing in tournaments, Itsu, as a pro player, you would always attack at the end of the match. So that means you would be attacking number 5 in the clutch moment, kind of all coming down to your attack. But when you were planning, did you watch the enemies attack your bases, or were you just more in planning mode and helping your teammates plan? Did the enemies and attacking your bases affect you?
You typically have like maybe one player or someone watching the other team attack you. A lot of times it's more distracting, I guess, of watching the other team's attacks, and you really want to make sure that your own plan and the plan of your teammates are well, perfectly planned and calculated and everything. So yeah, a lot of times you don't watch the attacks of the other team over one of those pro meshes.
Well, we're watching Fluxy here as he is now moving on through with the overgrowth towards the left. And the Queen should be able to grab this Town Hall as the Root Riders and Valks coming across through the core and dropping a Skeleton spell. Trying to have it there so the Milef, when it comes back active after the overgrowth, starts to get distracted on it.
Yeah, this is getting back to life. The Hogs are trying their best to support that Royal Champion. Going crazy at those defenses. The back end is still not looking too dangerous, to be honest, especially with having so many heroes alive. The Hogs are there as well, and there's always the crazy thing about those Hogs, the Hog Rider puppet of the Royal Champion. It can look just so OP if there are no traps, but if you run into spring traps or giant bombs or a bomb tower, this equipment kind of looks completely useless. On this one, the Hog Rider stayed alive, they were able to deal all of the damage necessary, and Fluxy claims the first 3-star for VM Legacy. And now, at this point, it's going to be the interesting story of teams switching their approach or staying with the Root Riders.
Yeah, and Fluxy getting a 1 minute 27 second triple, which these players may want to hit about a minute 30 in their attacks, typically when they do them. But great job coming in with Root Rise and Overgrowth, but this time the Overgrowth was not used on the Town Hall, which when it was, has caused some 1-stars and fails from some pro players in these matches. And yes, we have seen an incredible amount of Root Riders and Valkyrie attacks. We've also seen a lot of 1-stars as well. So kind of you're getting both because the pro players have to be very quick. It changes their plans. But of course, now with a fail, they're going to potentially think about different armies and different strategies to bring if they want to kind of be a more reliable 3-star for what they're kind of used to, maybe if they're doing in Legends League. But with this being an elimination match, you got to focus on getting those 3-stars so you don't get eliminated here.
Yeah, so getting those 3-stars in on the same side, though, hoping for a defense for Emporium Titans, because so far they have already the one fail. This means they need to now 3-star non-stop. We have the next Mass Root Rider attack. They did not change up their plan, and they're going in with this approach versus this base. We have no Overgrowth spell. Instead, it's a couple of Skeleton spells as a support, and they're going in right in the flank, making sure that they're getting this triple.
Yeah, with the troops already down, the Scouts and Spell out in front to help provide the distraction so those defenses don't necessarily get locked up right away onto the Root Riders. As a Super Dragon is coming out of the defensive Clan Castle, as a Freeze is just connecting with a Scatter Shot at the moment. The Town Hall is not active, so it will also stop the Poison spell from coming back as quick. As it continues through towards the Town Hall, as the Warden ability has already been activated.
That's right. The Town Hall now getting activated as well, or as it's about to get activated, there's a nice freeze. The Giant Trap rotating everything away from the Town Hall, but as well into the Town Explosion again. But the back end on this one does not look as stacked. I feel like as long as the defense are not as stacked, it's not as big of a threat to the back end. At the same time, the troops are slowly dying out. We have still the Royal Champ ability, but depending on whatever equipment he's running, it feels like with the freeze, he should be fine.
Yeah, that freeze spell can help get so much value of stopping these defenses, but he's also got the Giant Gauntlet of this King to move on through. There you go. Queen's continuing. She's on a wall, but the RC absolutely shreds right through that Archer Tower. Going to get stalled up on the Wizard Tower, so time will slow him down, but it will still be a 3-star here for NYU of Emporium Titans, giving them their first 3-star of this match, putting them to 5 stars total, but they do have that one fail of an 86%.
That's right. The defense is on the side of VM Legacy, but they're up next. They have to get their next attack in and have to make sure that they're, at this point, 3-starring. Time won't be the deciding factor. The But the question now is if they're going to switch things up or if they're staying with the Root Riders, because I feel like, yes, time is important, but Root Riders are not only getting picked because of the time. I mean, that's not how it is. They're not getting played only because they're quick, but as well because how powerful they are and how consistent they can get those 3-stars for the top teams.
Mm-hmm. And if we saw that Root Riders and Valkyries were not as consistent with 3-starring, but they were very fast possibility, then we would see Root Riders, Valkyries more in situations where it was all tied up and you had to be very quick to get a 3-star and in order for you to get a big advantage to try to win. But no, we're seeing it all the time because, like you mentioned, the strength of the Root Riders and how they have the ability to just move on through any walls with ease. But one thing to note is if you do have about one Root Rider only and not multiple, and you drop a Rage and it goes through the wall too quickly, the wall won't open because the Root Rider needs to kind of get through the wall a little bit slower. So maybe if any of you watching at home are like, you know what, I've used one Root Rider and I never opened up the wall. Well, that could be a reason, is because you've raged it up and it went too quickly. If you have multiple Root Riders, they'll both do the damage and then it'll open up pretty quickly. So that's why if you bring a lot of them like this, these walls stand no chance.
Yeah, as far as I know, like the rage effect just doesn't work on the destroying part of the walls of the Root Rider, and this is why the rage can just beat the Root Rider through the wall too quick without making sure that it's breaking. So I guess that's why this interaction is there. But well, we have not happened that often because I feel like a lot of people just use that many Root Riders that the wall always guaranteed is getting opened up.
Yep, it's just something to note if you only bring a few. So that's why you want to be careful with your attacks. It's the small details that will play a role. And a lot of times these players also, they're using their king they're using as least amount of funneling troops as possible if they're trying to get into certain compartments. But in this meta, it's really just about getting all your troops down all together, almost on the same tile, to be honest, and where it's the king, the queen, Root Riders, and Warden. And then that Siege Barracks, of course, now that you get an upgraded level, you get one extra P.E.K.K.A. They're really using that because you can help speed it up and help clean up the outside buildings.
Yeah, I feel like the Siege Barracks buff with the latest level was quite massive. That's why we see the Siege Barracks so much, or the Siege Machine that much compared to others. And I feel like even without the Root Riders, we would see that Siege Machine a lot. I think it's really, really strong currently with having 2 P.E.K.K.A. I know P.E.K.K.A. are not the strongest troops right now, but pretty much getting a P.E.K.K.A. for free just with the latest upgrade opportunity for that Siege Machine, that's a huge deal and makes this Siege Machine just so much stronger. And, well, that's why I think we're going to see it in future attacks more, but not with air attacks. With air, we see the blimp a lot of times, and that's exactly what Ariam is bringing with the Super Dragons on this one.
With the Seeking Shield on the Royal Champion, Ariam is looking to bounce back from his original attack earlier, which he got a 1-star. And unfortunately, it did cost them the match, and they got sent down to the lower bracket because of it. If he didn't 1-star it, if he tripled, then they would have gotten a perfect war, and they would have won their match. And now they're going to look to see if he can push these Super Dragons through the core, as the balloons have made it to the Town Hall. They do secure the Town Hall here, but do not grab that monolith due to the Tornado Trap.
Yeah, Tornado Trap did not have the biggest impact at the end. With the Monolith, though, staying up. A great freeze, catching that Inferno Tower and the Monolith to make sure that there is no more damage on his troops. The Super Dragons are just pushing through this core, and Super Dragons are just so insanely powerful. And we can clearly see that in this attack right now. The Owl is taking even another Black Mine, which is perfect for him. With his Queen, though, going down kinda early, I guess.
Well, we got an RC ability. We have one more Super Dragon to the top side. So 3 total still left, but the one up top is very low health, as this RC ability is looking to try to get through this multi-arch tower, kind of one of the biggest threats remaining. There's the shield that gets some value, but no haste. So this RC is trying to get through the multi-arch tower with the Warden trying to help protect her a little bit, but these Super Dragons... There's only one left, but it's got not too much health and just the Wizard Tower and Builder Hut that could take it down.
Now it really depends on traps, I guess. If there's any black mines, this could end up being really bad. But with having the Phoenix, the Warden, and the Super Dragon alive, I think he should be alright, even with one black mine. The Super Dragon tanking and no black mines so far, and this means it should be a 3-star. It's a slow one, but it doesn't matter. As long as VM Legacy is 3-star with their attacks, they're good to go.
3 stars is what they're looking for here at the end of the day, and Arium gets it. Well done with the Super Dragons, bouncing back from a 1-star and delivering the triple here, keeping their advantage. As long as they get above an 86% 2-star, then they will still have the lead no matter what, because that is what Emporium's Titans got with their very first attack, and they failed to get that triple there, so they've got a 1-star lead at the moment, which is looking good.
Is looking good for sure for them, especially now with both teams having the same amount of attacks in, leading in stars. That's a solid start into the match because, let's face it, there's still plenty of attacks to do, and we have seen already matches earlier which were shifted back and forth because there are some defenses happening, especially surprisingly, when sometimes even the pressure is off, we still saw some fails, which can happen on this one as well.
Yeah, you never know. One small mistake can cost you the match. As we get the next attack that's going to come in from Emporium Titans. Probably going to be the Root Riders and Valkyries here. It's been the overwhelming attack, the strategy that we've been seeing here today. And it's probably going to be the same thing we're going to be seeing from many teams tomorrow, as we're getting closer and closer to crowning a champion tomorrow here in the World's warm-ups, getting for an epic year at Town Hall 16 and Clash of Clans Esports. Cannot wait to see what this next attack is going to be with Riders. I'm pretty confident it's going to be what we're going to see next. We've seen the Knee Dragon attack, which I think is what failed, then Root Riders and Valks, and indeed it is. But no overgrowth that we've been seeing a couple times, with the Skeleton spell to start off initially here, off to the far right side, as the King might look to go grab the Town Hall, since there are no walls kind of in front of it to kind of make it a little difficult to get the King to path to the Town Hall right away.
Yeah, and I think Mazira is just like saying, well, guys, I have tried Lalo earlier. It has not worked. I'm back to the Root Riders. I will just get that 3-star hopefully for my team. He's going for the Town Hall. Town Hall's already down, which is a huge thing. And now the Root Riders are in as well. He's doing this kind of like back-to-back. Kind of as like normally you would do, instead of doing everything at the same time. So he's really making sure that the funnel is created for his Root Riders and then start with them, because time is less likely being a factor on this one, and instead going for the safer approach where giving his King time, giving his King the option of funneling the Root Riders, because so far the pathing for them is looking perfect.
Yeah, making his way towards the Eagle Artillery. Those P.E.K.K.A.s got fantastic value. Moving around from that Siege Barracks as the Warden ability now protects so much in this core, as he's pathing through the Eagle, gonna go through the single target Infernos, has a Rage and 2 freezes still left as a Poison gets launched, as the Queen cleared that enemy Super Dragon super easily, as the Queen technically could go and grab the Monolith if she walks there, and she does just that.
She does that indeed, especially with the Frozen Arrow. That's no problem whatsoever. The troops are just pushing through, and the plan of this one was just perfect. Really, really great base identification, seeing that there is the weakness of this tunnel being somewhat exposed, and then going for that King dive, getting that tunnel out, and this is not even close, getting that 3-star. And this means Emporium Titan doing right now everything they can possibly do to stay close to VM Legacy, because they're up now next, and they have to, well, do one thing, and that's 3-starring.
Gotta keep 3-starring, and that's all they can do from their end, and hope and cross their fingers that some mistake comes in from VM Legacy to have a chance to try to win this match in the lower bracket. But we still have attacks that are going to come in from Ninja, from Synthe, and from Darkstar of VM Legacy, and they are all such good players. And I know for Synthe, I'm probably maybe not going to see Velks, because he usually, or Velks and Root Riders, he tends to bring something different. Maybe some Hogs, maybe a lot of Hogs paired in with a giant arrow. So that is for sure one of the attacks that I am most excited to see what he's going to bring.
some maybe more hogs even. Especially I'm looking forward to it because I think so far he's kind of hold back with his mass Hog Rider attacks because he has to start the second stage, the Hog Rider, so early. I think something he was really famous for on Town of 15 and on the previous town level were like how he was able to utilize the Flame Flinger with the lightning combination, stuff like that, setting that thing up. But I feel like the Flame Flinger kind of disappeared, at least in the pro scene, because it takes time. It's kind of like a slow siege machine. It gets a lot of value, don't get me wrong, but the siege barracks is just so much quicker and you get the value out of it just much faster.
Yeah, that siege barracks with those 2 free P.E.K.K.A.s is just so valuable, and it's hard to pass up, especially when you get those free troops to be able to not only help clear out buildings, but if they ever move into the defensive range, they're tanking for other troops that are in your main army potentially, and it's just very smart to be taking that. Unless if you want to be taking a Flame Flinger, it is pretty slow. That's the one thing, is time is the issue with the Flame Flinger. With the Log Launcher, you could use an Overgrowth spell and get a little Overgrowth trick to try to get out logs to hit a defense. But again, it's usually not worth it when you got attacks with like this, as Ninja's coming in with a Queen Charge, it looks like. Gonna move into Queen Charge Root Riders, and no Valks in sight.
Yeah, no Valkyries, instead going, I guess, the classic option when it comes down to the legend style of approaching those box spaces is just taking the king for the town hall, which we have just seen as well from Emporium Titans, but this time it is combined with the Queen Charge and not just with the Mass Root Riders. The Flame Flinger is getting utilized as well because, as we have said earlier, it's not getting used that much anymore, so people are not really defending it, and this is why he's been able to take advantage of that top compartment, taking that out completely.
Yeah, with that Flame Flinger value, including a multi-Inferno Tower, fantastic. As he drops a Skeleton spell to distract the Ricochet Cannon as the Queen continues her charge from the bottom side, and she'll be able to lure out this Clan Castle and deal with the CC as Root Riders can potentially come in from the right side to go and grab that Eagle fast. But look at this, Root Riders, or not Root Riders, the Rocket Loons go straight to this Queen, which could be a big problem, especially if you're not looking. You can lose a Queen through with a Frozen Arrow. But Root Riders are down with the Warden, making their way to that Eagle.
Yeah, but that Queen Charge so far looks amazing. I mean, just the one last wall break, getting his Queen access to the core, really nicely done. He has to be careful now because of a lot of damage and that single Inferno Tower. So a nice use of that invisibility spell. Queen is chasing the... No, Queen. Okay, Queen is coming back. Queen is back. She ignored the skeletons. Good job, Queen.
Well done, as the defensive rage will go off here as he gets closer to that final compartment. Does have the Royal Champ ability. Flame Flinger will open up with as the Root Riders are coming through. There's a freeze, but the defensive rage does get activated with that Queen ability as Rocket Loon Yeti's coming out of the Flame Flinger. RC is hasted up, moving her way on through, and Ninja is going to be getting that 3-star here for VM Legacy, putting them 3 for 3 with 9 stars overall.
That's exactly what they have to go for. Going for the safer options. Ninja felt really safe with his Queen Charge approach. Had a good idea of what the weakness of this base might look like with this plan. And it's going to be the 3-star indeed. With the 1 defense, that's exactly what they're looking for. Keep pressuring Emporium Titans. And they have indeed out of the pressure on them, because they somehow need to turn this around with the defense and keep 3-starring on their own.
Yep, got to keep those 3 stars coming in. And I really love the wall breakers, you know, the identification to be able to bust through the walls from the outside all the way through the core to allow that Queen to continue her charge. And he was able to know how far the wall breakers were able to go in, perfectly opens it so she could step in for the monolith and continue her way through. And he just broke his way right with the king to the town hall. And it's just the town hall, if you can take the town hall with your king and other buildings around it, including defenses, that's a lot of value.
That's a lot of value for sure. And I feel kind of happy that we're seeing at least some Queen Charges, as I always have to say. I'm really enjoying watching them and seeing how the pros are controlling the troops, especially wall breaks. I feel like wall breaks are sometimes a bit complicated to understand of what exact wall they're targeting and why. And seeing someone like Ninja showcasing what the power is looking like is really nice to see. But we see the next attack. This one is going to be again the Root Rider Valkyrie combination, but this one is actually bringing a couple of witches to have a couple of more power points. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, with the siege barracks and the Pekkas off to start, and some witches actually came into the bottom side, as we're going to see the Root Riders moving on through across towards that town hall with an invisibility spell near it, and we've got earthquakes and the lightning spells coming in after the fact. As Root Riders, usually we tend to see the lightnings go first, so you don't mess up the attack, but he goes after because that can help with time. But that's not going to matter necessarily. You have to focus on first the 3 stars in this match here, as Skeleton Spell's coming down, popping that Warden ability to really protect those Root Riders, pathing their way finally now towards the Town Hall.
The Queen is going the wrong direction, so she won't be able to reach that Inferno Tower in the core of the base, and that might be a problem for her. She can reach the cannon, but not more. She has to go for a wall now. That's why he's popping the ability. There's actually 2 Black Mines to get rid of 2 of those cheaters right away, and the Root Riders right now are struggling quite a bit in that Town of Poison.
Yeah, but the Queen was able to secure the single target Inferno. RC is moving through the defensive King, and that King ability is going to be clutching up that compartment, allowing this Royal Champion to try to continue her way through that scatter shots. Are all going to be about the RC ability. Can he get through the enemy RC here, as the Queen does die off, but we have a multi-arch tower, we have a ground expo, we have the enemy RC, as so much is gonna hurt as this World Champion is hasted up, trying to continue her way, but unfortunately she won't go invisible anymore, as the Spirit Fox has died.
And that is looking like another defense for VM Legacy. That's already their 2nd defense in this match, and they're looking like that they are staying strong in this lower bracket. Remember, this match is deciding about the future of those 2 teams for this tournament, because the loser is dropping out of this tournament while the winner is staying in the lower bracket.
Yep, looking like VM Legacy is going to try to coast their way through. And if they get a 2-star, they'll put them still a star ahead to 11, as we still have Darkstar and Synthe still to come in for VM Legacy, as this is an elimination match. So if you lose, you are out of the competition. You're going to have to try to win, because the winner of this match, if I'm not mistaken, are they taking on Na'Vi?
I think so, yes. No,
yeah.
Wait. They're in the bottom part of the bracket, I think. So,
or is it early attacks? It's one of them.
Would take early attacks. Let's have a quick look. Thank you, production. Okay. It's early attacks instead. So we have Na'Vi versus VA Esports tomorrow, and early attacks is going to face the winner. Right now, it's looking like VM Legacy tomorrow as well in the lower bracket. But either way, that's going to be some insane matches. But for now, we're still in the match, so anything can still happen, because we have seen already 1 stars earlier today. So I feel as long as VM Legacy is not going to go with the overgrowth spell option of Matt's Root Riders, I think they're looking pretty good, and I hope that they can push all the way through so they can get this victory and face early attacks then tomorrow.
Yeah, that's still though early attack versus either, well, VM Legacy is likely going to probably win this matchup here. With more attacks, they just have to get tripled. But Na'Vi versus VA Esports, that's going to be a fantastic match. 5 versus Chronic. Oh boy, it's going to be really good.
It is going to be really good for sure with those matches up tomorrow to then crown the champion for this World's Warm-Up Tournament. The first big tournament in this Town Hall 16 meta. But we now have Darkstar, and he's back to Lalo, and he's going with the Skelly Donut. I really hope that we have, and he has some great success with this, because I feel like he likes those more strategic approaches, more strategic attacks, and seeing him play Matt's Root Riders always feels wrong. So I'm really happy that he's back with this approach.
Yeah, as the Hog Puppets are on the Royal Champion, Queen's going to move her way through with that Lalo, and he's got a Battle Drill selected here with 3 freezes, and as the King ability does go off towards the Eagle Artillery, is going to have to make his way all the way towards this Town Hall here, which means if Darkstar is attacking now, that means Synthe is going to be closing off this match.
Yes, hopefully with your giant arrow trick to rule the world and see what he can do there. But so far for Darkstar, things are looking great. He has another wall break to push even further into the base and get the queen access to the multi-inferno tower. There we go. And then the question is, can the queen go through that wall and take actually the multi-inferno tower out as well? And maybe she can just trigger the poison tower. That would be already a great success as well.
That would be a lot of value as the battle drill is now down here as he's going to make his way slowly off to the right as Queen ability does go off, pulls the poison spell, and the Royal Champion is going to try to follow right behind it because the battle drill, remember, it will be stunning defenses along his way, basically kind of acting like a diggy.
Ooh, the queen walking around there. Well, that queen is actually smart because she can reach now the multi-inferno tower and everything going around that corner. My queen would have went for that wall 100%, and because there's one non-max wall, I know my queen would have chosen the max walls. But the Lalo is in, the warden ability is great, there's no chain trap behind the town hall, and this attack is looking amazing.
Yeah, absolutely crushing his way right on through, and look at how many balloons he still has left over, and swagging the freezes as well. Does not need them, and Darkstar absolutely destroying this base right here. What an attack. Beautiful job.
Yeah, really nice job, and that's what I like to see from him, those more strategic approaches with the skeleton donut than the hero dive, and he makes things look easy. And this means it's another 3-star for VM Legacy. They're playing it safe right now, not going for time, and they have a 2-star lead going to the last rotation of attacks.
Yeah, his brilliant job there. It's coming down to Synthe, who just needs to get a 1-star to at least tie it if Emporium Titans does get a triple, and 2-star, no matter what, will win it to put them to 14 stars. So they're looking to just to coast their way through this match, but they still will have a gauntlet to have to fight through of early attacks, and then potentially, because Navi's also down in the lower bracket, but Navi still has to fight their way through VA Esports, and that's going to be an intense matchup. Plus, whoever loses out of Tribe Gaming and Synchronic will get down there, so there's going to be so many amazing matches to come, and I'm assuming there will also see some perfect wars as well. Granted, one mess up, one fail, that could cost you.
That is for sure the case. And we have another Electro Dragon attack for Emporium Titans. We have some Electro Dragons on the top side, we have the heroes on the far right, and the Electro Dragons are getting pushed right into that far side. He has playing with the Slammer, so taking all of the risk, which is not really there anymore, to be honest, because they just have to 3-star and hope for a miracle, and otherwise it's over anyways.
Yeah, as the town is on the complete opposite side, the goal of these E-Dragons really is not to make it all the way across to the town hall, but really to just gut the core of this base and take it down so that your heroes can then wrap all the way around and get the value. But I'm hearing the drops of some lightning spells from the death of these E-Dragons, which means that they're dying one at a time here and not getting that value. And we're still having the clan castle up, which is not good. You definitely want those E-Dragons to make their way and clear that clan castle, but it does go down from the Super Dragon, so that's okay. But the Monolith stays up with an invisibility spell near the Town Hall.
This could be some really annoying backhand. He's sending out the Royal Champion, but take a look at that double skeleton trap as he's deploying the Royal Champion into all of the damage. And the Fox already took a lot of damage, I think, as well. Yes, the Fox is having barely any hit points left, and such a crucial pet to have alive. Warden is taking damage as well. No wall breaks for the troops to get into the tower compartment. Carbon, I think this is not looking the best.
I wonder if he forgot a wall breaker, thinking that his heroes are going to run all the way around. The invisibility spell does go off, has the Queen ability. King is now going to become a wall breaker and try to bust through, and he's able to do it. Queen's got her ability. The Warden's trying his best to help to grab the ground expo. Queen's ability will go off very soon here. Healers are here. Town Hall's going down. Warden does not grab the invisibility spell tower, but he is coming back to life with the Phoenix. The Queen steps into the poison, but he gets the 3-star just with enough left here and puts them to 13 stars But Synthe, all he needs is a 2-star for the victory.
And now we're getting hype for some Hog Riders, for some bacon, or hopefully not much bacon,
Yes.
I guess, for Synthe to succeed with his next attack. Maybe he's doing something fancy with the giant arrow, or I guess he's always using the giant arrow. It doesn't really matter if he's like trying to set it up. He's just like using it as a default equipment, I guess. And we will wait for how he's utilizing that equipment and his Hog Riders.
Yeah, we'll see how he does it because he loves those hogs. And what if he brings what's the max amount of hogs you can bring? You know, is it like in the 70s now? I think it's like crazy. And you just, what is it? You drop all of them. I can only imagine bringing that amount of hogs and then some overgrowths and just having hogs just run their way around the base or something, you know? But hey, you just need the 2-star so he can bring really almost anything he wants to secure the victory.
Yeah, I think he normally has around like 40 Hog Riders in his army camp when he has like funnel, cleanup, troops to set his heroes up and everything. I think that's the normal combination. But you can always add up the Hog Riders from the Royal Champion equipment if you want to, which would be another 13 Hog Riders, right? So you can add them up really quickly, and it's getting a lot of Hog Riders in there, especially then for Synthe to have a lot of fun. So let's hope that we have some fun attack ahead of us.
If you add a clone spell to the mix, you're going to be hitting 100 hogs. I didn't even think of it. You could hit 100 hogs into the... Okay, here we go. I need to see this. I need to just do this now in a friendly challenge. 100 hogs hitting a total of 16. I didn't even think about this. If you have a maxed out, so was it 13 hogs that spawn with the RC ability when it's maxed?
Yes, should be.
Oh wow. Okay, that's giving me some ideas for sure. All right, now I'm excited. What is Synthe gonna do? And it's okay. It's 30 hogs, but is it gonna be a giant arrow? We got a Skelly Donut. What it looks like to be. And no giant arrow for the queen here.
What is happening? Where did that giant arrow go? I'm confused. But yeah, he's starting with a Skelly Donut. He has some rocket loons in his army capacity as well, which I'm wondering how he's going to use that. Maybe to take down the mortars or something. That could be an option. But the clan castle and that monolith is down. He even triggers one of those poison towers early on.
Yeah, with that poison spell being triggered there, the clan castle is gone. Don't have to worry about that at all, which is probably most likely going to be ice golems in there anyways. As 4 headers are going to join in as a jump spell to help get the king and queen more towards the core as the queen is placed to the top side, as he can then kind of path the queen to the right, break through that wall, and he's only got one wall breaker here, so... Is he gonna just jump the queen on the outside and then wall break the king? Yeah, looks like that's exactly what he's doing.
Okay, Synthe has some plans here. I'm loving it. Give this man always some freedom to attack with whatever he wants to. That king for the town hall is looking really good as well to take down the town hall without any problems. The flame flinger having some insane value right there. The queen as well charging further into that compartment. And with the queen ability, he should be good to go to get even more value.
Yeah, with that frozen arrow on the queen, slowing these defenses down. She's going to take this jump, and ability's going to go off right about now. Perfect. Scatter shot has been removed. Ground expo from the rocket loons. Tesla working through the single, and the poison getting launched as well as here comes the hogs. And Warden Eternal Tome protecting them as they're moving right on through.
They're moving through indeed. The Warden is trying to keep up with them because they're just so quick. But it seems like there is no... I mean, they're just going through this like it's... Okay, never mind. There's now some giant bombs and everything, and they're going down somewhat quick. But he has more Hog Riders to reinforce. He has still 7 Hog Riders not deployed yet. And it's going to be indeed another 3-star for VM Legacy. They're going with the perfect result. And I feel like some of those teams are just waking up as soon as they're dropping to the lower bracket. And Synthe getting that 3-star in with the Swag Hogs and Swag Rocket Loons.
Well done to you, Synthe. Getting it done. Perfect war. 15 stars. VM Legacy are keeping their hopes alive, and they will be moving on in the lower bracket, who they will now face early attacks. And what a match they had here. And they're going to have to try to continue this momentum through into the lower bracket.